All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Run Home Podcast, where I'm your host, Zubaz, and I am joined today by one of my best friends on this entire face of the earth, repeat podcast victim, Andujar. Welcome to the Run Home Podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Dude, I love the background. We were talking about that a little bit before we got started, but essentially, it sounded like you accidentally started collecting koozies.
Yeah, we just had too many of them, and somebody must have had like shot glasses up at their house or golf balls. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do koozies.
Yeah,
We just start tacking them up here
because they got really popular for a while, but then they just get stuffed in a drawer. Like, what else are you gonna do with them?
Right. Yeah. Put them on the wall.
Make them art. Now, one thing that I'm just realizing you said right before you said you were outside. Are you actually outside right now?
Well, I'm in I think they call it a summer kitchen. It's a patio covered, screened, so no bugs can get in here.
Oh, yeah. Because you got to watch out for that in Florida. The bugs get crazy.
Right.
And do you get those what are they called, love bugs, where they're like flying around together, those things?
Yeah, they like stick their butts together or something. Yeah. Yeah. They don't do anything except for mess up your car.
Yeah,
they're annoying. They're just pests.
Because what's the big city that you live close to? Is it Orlando or is it Vero Beach?
Yeah, Orlando's the closest one. I'm about an hour to Orlando and 2 hours to Tampa, and maybe 3.5 to Miami. But mostly Orlando's the close one.
But the tip-off is the name Andujar. So you're not a Florida native though. You're from Missouri, right?
Illinois.
Or Illinois, yeah. I guess technically Illinois. Yeah. It always felt like you claimed Missouri more than you claimed Illinois.
Well, yeah, because if you say Illinois, everybody thinks Chicago, and I'm definitely not Chicago. I'm closer to St. Louis.
Yep.
So I don't really want to claim St. Louis either. I'm more kind of rural than urban.
Yeah, but you still claim the Cardinals, certainly, because wasn't your original CSFBL name Joaquin?
I thought about that recently in the past couple of weeks. I did have an account called Joaquin, but I think that was when. Did we ever have a limit on teams of maybe 10?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, yep. At one point in time, 10 wasn't enough. So
yep.
Got a second account, and then 10 was more than enough. So Joaquin went away. It's probably got a password as Andujar. Yeah, I could go look at it, but.
Well, now everybody's looking at it. They're all in the Joaquin.
Good luck finding that one.
Yeah, I forgot about that name. But so Andujar is the original name.
Yeah.
Oh, mine was, if you remember, it was Jay Havey for a while. Like I didn't even have a pseudonym.
Yeah, then everybody knew your name.
I realized, well, for a while, like that all of a sudden became a really weird thing. Like if you remember, do you remember the like who dares show your face thread?
Before my time, but yeah. Before my TCL time.
Oh, was it?
I was definitely I've seen the thread because it's been bumped a few times. But yeah, it was not something you wanted to do. You didn't want to tell anybody who you really were.
No, because
now there's only Tremke that's left that does that.
That's right. Yeah, because it was back in the day where you just assume everybody online was a rapist or a murderer, and then and it was so long ago that Rent showed his face, and he was like 15 years old, and he had to tell his parents how he was posting pictures with a bunch of adult men on the internet.
You could have all got registered on the list.
Yeah, and now Rent has a real job in Twins, and like we've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Damn. So what was tell me about your CSFBL journey. What was the first league you were in and first real league you were in?
I don't know the first league I was in.
It was a Greek league?
It was definitely Greek. And I guess I can go back and find that stuff now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, a lot of those leagues got purged, though. So, like,
yeah, I saw a couple of them. And even my first real league, it's hard for me to pinpoint. I know how I got to TCL, and that's when I really started playing the game and sticking around the forums. But I know I was in World League, and I thought it was neat that Brian was in there.
Yep.
And I joined Remake, which ramped up my activity. I can blame Ken and Pimp for a lot of encouragement to start playing more. And sadly, I don't regret anything. But the guy who really got me to come play in TCL was Bill.
Oh, really?
I was in a Bill league. I think it was like LOL. And he's like, hey, you should come over to TCL forums and check it out. And then
he was hyping TCL instead of Baseball Union?
I think it was after BU, but I don't know. And it's also my memory, which I like to kind of erase the things I don't like and remember the things that I do want. And so I credit Bill some.
Yeah.
God,
good old Bill. Good old Bill. Bill, Bill is. I think he's back a little bit too. I've seen him pop up a couple times. Hopefully he's back.
Every once in a while he comes around. That's good.
I always like Bill. Bill, he led to so many like quotes and like memories. Like that's the one that you and I have done over and over again is the 19th. Bill on turning 19, buying his Mustang.
I will tell you this. I recently watched Tokyo Drift with the family. And the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, man, that's a fat porno.
That's right. Because you did a couple of videos that where you just took threads and switched them into Gazoogle, which is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
I don't know how well that holds up now. I don't know if it's woke, but it was funny then.
It's probably not woke, but it's still funny. Oh my God, I forgot about that because you did the Bill video in Gazoogle and then did a video of it.
I don't know if I could ever do that again with a straight face. It was so hard.
The thing that I was going to show you, I'm gonna show you quick because I still think it's one of the funniest things. Let's see. Now this is testing my technological ability because I'm going to try and share a screen here. And I don't think we'll get audio, but it doesn't matter. Is this right here. And just this part right here is where, so what's happening for the rest of you is like, Jar's doing a remake of a remake of a video that I did about a video that some league, No Static did. And he does this thing with the glasses. I'm just going to play this for a second.
I don't know who did that once.
The glasses are supposed to go down.
That was so frustrating. They weren't coming down.
And then, but it looked like you did it on purpose. And then that's one of the funniest things. And the funniest part is you end it with another.
Yeah. I don't know who did that, but that was supposed to be for somebody.
Oh my God. The videos you used to do were the funniest things ever. We got to get back into doing parody videos at some point.
Yeah, those were fun. I recently tried to create some original content with the TCL win because we don't pass the belt around all the time, and I've already had it, so it's not like that exciting. I didn't really want it per se, but I had a lot of fun, and so did my kids. We threw a bunch of boxes at our front door.
Yeah,
those were fun to make.
actually, here, I'm gonna bring that up because I think it's so funny, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, your UPS guy is a dick. And so this is the I think this is the third one. Can you see it on your screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know why I can't get audio, but I just think. And then somehow
that's
you
gonna
get a
edit
time lapse into daytime, and then it's the next night. That box didn't even get to the door.
Yeah.
I like, there's one where you just hit the window perfect, and I just think it's the funniest thing in the world.
The last one is the best, and it's kind of cut it off.
That's the one. That's the one. Like fastball it, and so you're sure that this is the belt coming in. I love how you did this like security camera footage.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, it's an Arlo camera that we have up in the house.
Oh my God. Like that poor dog just does not move. It looks like it's stuffed. Just
he's like, we've done so many of these. He just did not want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, he was like, you guys are crazy. I'll just wait till they're done. Maybe I can get some food.
We were teasing him by ringing the doorbell. So I got so much Orlando City stuff that I was thinking that we get a package every day with having so many people at the house, and by using that. So that was going to be my premise. And
it was funny, but it did make me wonder. Like I saw after you and Stephanie were in Florida for a while that you did start getting super into Orlando City and the soccer team. Like, what led to that?
Well, I love live sports. And when I moved, I couldn't go to Cardinal games anymore. I couldn't go to Blues games anymore. And there wasn't really, the NBA is not my thing. I'm not going to shit on it, but am I allowed to curse in here?
Not my thing either. Yeah.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Edit that out later. So anyway, the soccer games were fun. Like, it's obviously not a lot of scoring, and that's what people that are gonna like poo-poo on it are gonna say. But like, it's just nonstop action
especially in the stands, right? Like the fans like have a thing going the whole time.
Right. There's supporter section that does. They have their I call them chants, but that might not be the right word for it. But they sing the whole game. And even in the other section where I sit, I don't stand in the supporter section and go crazy and jump for 90 minutes. That's work.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I really enjoy them. And then and also it doesn't make I can't pick up. I can never have two teams in the league. I could never do it. Like, I couldn't go root for the Rays, even though I can go to Rays games. So the soccer was something I didn't have any attachment to, so I kind of picked that up, and it's satisfied that itch. The live sports, it's even more increased my rivalry. I love to hate other cities.
Who is their rival?
Been the one that I just never really liked Atlanta for one reason or another. Mostly, well, I know exactly why, because when I would commute from St. Louis to Florida, like make that trip, Atlanta is the worst city to drive through.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't know. I've never driven in New York. I haven't driven everywhere, but I've been to LA, and I tried to go, took a 10-minute ride to the beach, and it took 4 hours. LA is pretty awful too, but Atlanta was terrible. I would time my trips so I would be going through Atlanta at 4 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah.
To avoid that.
Have you been in the Atlanta airport? It's hellacious too. It's the worst airport to be in.
Not.
I think it's the busiest airport in the United States. Yeah. Wow. So I don't blame you. I'm not a fan of Atlanta either. Plus, they just beat my Brewers this year, so they can go screw themselves.
So I do relate back that there was a Cardinal Atlanta. I think it was the first season they did the wild card 1-game playoff, and they had this infield fly, that was basically a fly ball to left field that dropped, that the shortstop couldn't get, the left fielder couldn't get, and the umpire called infield fly on the Braves, so their guy was out. And it was in Atlanta, and the whole stadium went berserk. And you could even find this on like Wikipedia or somewhere. You can find videos of it on YouTube. And they threw a bunch of trash on the field. And but I don't condone that. It's not a bad word. I'm not gonna critique the city based on their fans that threw trash on the field. But a few years later, at an Atlanta game, Orlando fans threw trash and beer on the field, and on my online community, some Atlanta supporters were saying, about how trashy it is to do that, and then
you're like, how dare you?
Yeah, like, hey, I post this image here. And they're like, oh, that's the Braves. Like, okay.
What? Yeah, yep, it is the Braves. You're right, and they are in Atlanta,
your city. But anyway.
Oh my God!
Fake real simulated baseball.
That's right. And so now I'm coming all the way back to what started this conversation.
Yeah.
The name Andujar but if I remember right, when we talked before, Andujar is not your favorite player, right?
No, probably not. I don't think so.
How did that name come to be that you decided to make it your online moniker?
I don't know. I knew it would be unique-ish.
For sure. And now you're forever known as Jar.
Yeah, so I even went somewhere different than just Jar. That has nothing to do with anybody.
Yep.
But I liked what he stood for. He was very passionate. And I don't know. He was one bad Dominican or something. I don't know. I liked him just fine. I just don't think I'd ever say he was my favorite player.
Yeah, that whole team. Well, how old are you? You got to be close to me. You're somewhere around 44, 45?
No, 46.
Oh, 46. So yeah, we're the same age.
I think we discussed this, or maybe I just remembered it. Like, it's you, and then Pip might be older, but you and Moden and I have birthdays a couple months apart, the same age.
Yeah, so and I always think that's fascinating because and maybe it's just because I've always loved baseball, but you can really relate to people based on their age because you know what they were watching when they were little kids, like developing those memories. And you and I, obviously that 82 World Series, that time is right when we were probably both getting into baseball, and the Cardinals had no shortage of people to fall in love with from that team for Cardinal fans.
Yeah, I guess that's why you've said Robin Yount as a favorite player. And if I was pressed into it, I'd probably say Willie McGee.
Yeah. The greatest player, the worst picture taker of all time. His baseball cards are the funniest things ever. But even as a Brewer fan, I did like Ozzie Smith. I thought he was a great baseball player. He stood for all the right things.
Yeah.
Seemed like, anyway.
Yeah, I'd agree. I guess the only thing, there's two things, but I think the number one thing that I'm not going to fault him for this, but him and Tony La Russa didn't get along. And I don't know many people that get along with Tony La Russa. He's
tough.
Yeah. But the other thing that I remember about Ozzie for maybe not liking him as much is he was constantly on the radio in St. Louis as a spokesperson for divorce attorneys, which I always thought was like,
that's a weird thing.
Ozzie Smith, you could sell sports drinks. Why are you on here with divorce attorneys?
Especially multiple divorce attorneys.
I think it was always the same guy, but he was, and I don't remember it entirely. It just always stuck with me. Ozzie Smith, divorce attorney. If I ever need to get divorced,
Ozzie Smith's your guy.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. And I had a Cardinal fan on here. I don't know if you saw that podcast or not, but he's obviously, like, that guy lives, breathes Cardinal baseball. And one of the things I asked him, and I was going to ask you too, is how did so many Cardinal fans get on CSFBL? It's like it's like 10% of the
It seems
entire
that way,
game.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
There's dedicated Cardinal leagues. I don't
there.
know.
Yep.
I didn't find it through. I found the game like probably like everybody else, like Googling something fantasy baseball related.
Yep.
Tried, you know. But there was also, I mean, there is a league that like one of the oldest leagues that had forums on the Cardinal blog that we went to, you know, they definitely encourage it. But there's a Cubs league, there's a Red Sox league, or at least there were at some point in time.
Because that Cubs group actually did come over together, didn't they? That Sons of Ivy or Wrigleyville, one of the two.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think Cardinal fans stand out a lot more just because they'll the way the club promotes best fans in baseball. When you see a Cardinal fan, you're like, I don't want to. No, I don't want to talk to that guy.
Well, as a Brewers fan, the Cardinals have ruined my existence more than once. We just can't ever seem to beat the Cardinals. I don't know what it is. They got our number. So anyways, but you and I have been in a lot of leagues together. We've been in a lot of things together. You've been on my Threads of Time podcast, my Spinny Logic podcast, this podcast. We've been in Clash of Clans together. We've been I think we're in 4 leagues together now. So we've definitely worked together and competed in a lot of different places. And the newest addition to that is I just joined Caribbean League.
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw you're welcoming in the "There Goes This League" post. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm not an old timer in there either. I'm probably like 10 seasons in there.
What's the story with that league? It came kind of. I mean, it's been around forever, but I didn't realize it was like a commissioner league or something.
Like I don't know. I remember hearing a long time ago, it was that Carl was a really good league to be in, a lot of fun, and I guess they were looking for owners, and I was like, okay, I'll come join it because I was playing a lot more lately, so thought I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that league quick, and yeah, there's a lot of good owners in this league. I'm guessing it's going to be super competitive. My team looked like it was missing some leadership for the last couple seasons. We'll put it that way. So I got some work to do.
That's where I came in that way as well. And I think it was within the first couple seasons I won a lottery for the number 1, which is one of the great things about the league. I don't think I ever had the worst record, but it was bad enough to not be in the playoffs. And yeah, I won that number 1 pick, and now the guy's making $10 million a year.
Ooh,
yeah, he's pretty fantastic. And I won another lottery to go up to the number 2, and I got a great pitcher too. I'm looking at him now. I've mostly benefited. Yeah, Vasquez, the center fielder.
He's a center fielder. Woo!
He is
smoking hot. This guy. He's 94 DI, 83 BA, 94 slugging, but he's also like a 90 speed guy and 75 range. Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
It was a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, he's only 25. God, I salivate when I see guys like that. And then this pitcher, high finesse guy too. He's probably like a 330 big 4 guy.
Have you ever made any trades on the podcast?
No, we could do it right now though.
No, not those guys.
So what? So is that the one unique thing about Carl is the lottery?
I think so. There's definitely competitive rules that I guess when I looked at it, you had to win like 180 games every 3 seasons, or you get penalized. I was like, if I ever start losing that many games, probably not paying any attention. So.
Yeah, well. And now it's mostly, or I won't say mostly because I know a lot of people were involved, but partially thanks to you, those owner stats are a real thing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to publicly thank you for the work that you put into this too, because it's like just, I mean, it's just a whole new world for CSFBL.
Well, thank you. I know I just really got the ball rolling too. Brian took what I had come up with to start with, and he did a fantastic job with it. So,
yeah, but well, I just figured. I mean, yours look pretty impressive, man.
This looks, it was all right.
Yeah,
I was definitely doing it a different way that really wasn't sustainable. Like I was looking for games that a person owned as opposed to a season that you own.
Look at all these teams.
Oh, you got the wrong screen up then.
Oh, I do?
Yeah. You're showing me Discord.
Oh, am I? Let's see. I was showing you Discord.
Huh. Yeah, it was like our Discord chat.
Oh. How about now?
Oh yeah, there we go.
There we go. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up our private conversations. Jeez. That was weird.
Those were very personal, I think.
So yeah, you can see your records now?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so yeah, so and then I was going to look at all these teams.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of teams. I don't keep them as long as you do. I only have 10 or so that are over 20 seasons. That was kind of shocking to me that I don't really stick around.
Oh yeah, can we sort by that? There we go. 111 seasons in Cards Clubhouse though.
Yep. And that was just one team. I got another one.
Oh yeah, Peoria Chiefs down here.
Yeah.
But this is incredible, man. This is the first time that we've been able to do anything like this. I think the thing I think is going to be really compelling is being able to start to reach out to some of those former owners that aren't around anymore and see if like something like records can reel them back in so they can start to see all the other development we're working on and maybe get some of these old timers back in.
Yeah. That would be
my
neat.
hope. Yeah, that would be my hope. Yeah. So
I was just gonna say that, man, that those graphs that you guys got in there, those are fantastic. Those are way beyond my dreams of what the data would look like. Just the visual of that is so much better, and to be able to bring some color to numbers based baseball like is pretty cool.
Yeah. No, and it's I've always said that like this game can never become like a big graphics game. We're not going to compete with like a game like that, and so it's always going to be text based, but this gives us an opportunity to create visualizations and start to create the part of the game that I think attracts most of us is the GM data analysis side of things. And doing the owner records I think opened up our eyes to what we could do for players too, what we could do for individual teams, and create visualizations and data in such a way that it really adds something to the way that you're able to make data-driven decisions for the teams too. It's great. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by your. I'm still digging through your teams because I am impressed that you're very consistent in your first, second, and third place. It's like 78% of the time you're in the top half. That's pretty good.
Well, all except for a couple leagues, and I've looked into this a little bit more. This is something that I don't want to go too deep into it, but I'm talking with Russ, so with Clone, about rankings and that sort of stuff. All except for TCL and CBF. I have a very similar graph, especially the ones I've been in more than like 10 years. But like, I really struggled in that Chi Beta Federation League the first 2 times I was there, and I'm back there again. They got a letter ranking draft, which I find to be very fun.
A letter rank? Wait, well, how does that work?
Players have letter grades A, B, C, D, F, and A is like a 90 through 99, B is 75 through 90, and then it goes down from there. So you don't necessarily know that when you're getting an A guy, whether you're getting 99 or a 90, but you know you're getting like that. So it gives you a little bit of the surprise on draft day. Well, not draft day anymore, but when you draft them. And it makes the draft picks a little less predictable. So you can get guys further down with picks. The way the letter draft even works with miss scouts is very intriguing to me, because you can stumble on a guy in the second round that would never have a chance of getting to that second round pick in a ranking. So I think that league is a lot of fun right now, and it's got a lot of long time owners that run their league very well. So it's a well managed league. That's a big plus for me too.
I think I was in Chi Beta at some point many years ago, before they were doing this. I didn't realize they were doing it this way. And this is just another example of like how people just innovating on behalf of their league, hopefully someday will lead to the development in that direction. Because my personal feeling is like, we just have to give more options to the owners, let them decide however they want to manage and create in a league, and then develop towards that. Because I think if we just go naturally to where people are headed, the game will be the most successful. Because I just think the innovation of what people are doing right now is incredible, and they're doing it manually in most cases.
Yeah.
So how do they do it in Chi Beta? How do they shield all the draft picks from you?
Oh, it's something that was developed. I don't know when. It was at a time when Smitias and Vashon and
were really engaged.
I think Reds was still involved then. They were doing sprints, and they did a lot of good work, a lot of good things at that time. And that's when the letter, you can have letters for the draft. You can have letters, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even say. I thought you could have letters for your whole roster forever. But it was done a few years ago. I think it's just like you're saying. It's a neat option to have. And I'm a huge fan of options, because we have, hundreds. Maybe we have hundreds of leagues. Maybe we just have 100. I don't know. But to have each one be able to make it the way they want and is really cool.
Yep. Because that's ultimately that's the advantage that we have over DraftKings or fantasy baseball or even regular baseball, is we don't have to comport with any physics at all. We could have a league with 100 teams or 8. We could ladder league, relegation. We can have 20, we could play 20 games in a day. It doesn't really matter. So like, we need to make all of that optional so people can play it however they want to. I think that's where it becomes super, super interesting. And then, the second part of that, that I get into, that's going to take a while, but the portability of teams and players, so that you could do one-on-one tournaments. Like you and I could play 2 teams from different leagues in a single series. Like that obviously is way down the road, but that's where I foresee it going, because I think that would be the coolest thing ever.
I just want to have a team of Harold Coles pitching, and you can have a team of Johnny Roundtrips hitting, and we'll see how many runs you score.
Well, I don't know if I would do so well in that one. Harold Cole is unbeatable. Maybe could I get 2 Willie Waltz, please, and a Rufus Mickelson?
Maybe Rufus Mickelson and Willie Waltz are better players. Roundtrip just had the 99 name.
Yep.
Best name.
He was the best. He had the best name ever. That was one of the first renames ever too. Yeah, and now we're in a league where renames are the name of the game and redraft. That's like my favorite part of that league. It's lawless.
I hope this doesn't go too long, but I gotta tell this story. Right. So I'm driving home I went to a sporting goods store with my 14-year-old Saturday. We need to get a bat, and I'm not gonna get into. He needed a bat. I'm just not gonna get into anything more about that part. So we're driving home.
What was he gonna use it to beat somebody with?
No, he's playing baseball. And maybe self-defense, but mostly playing baseball. So we're driving home, and his phone had died or something. And I said, "Hey man, can you read me the results from the redraft league?" I said, "Okay, open up this game and tell me who's pitching." He goes, "Al Caribbean," and I said, "Well, his first name's Roy, so who's pitching?" And he goes, "Roy Al Caribbean." And I had him read it about 10 times. And then I go, "So like Royal Caribbean?" He goes, "Oh." So and then I couldn't think of any other good names like that. But yep, that's Royal Caribbean.
Dude, the funniest thing is when I saw that name at first, I assumed it was one of Clone's Star Wars names. And then I was like, wait, no, but that's a boy's name. And then it took me a while, and I was like, oh, I get it. Yeah. I had a good laugh about that one.
Yeah, that was fun. We definitely go rename crazy in that one.
Yeah, well, and there's the funny thing is, for people that don't know anything about this league, is if rookies, whoever drafts the rookie, can rename them whatever they want, and it's totally lawless. You can do whatever you want. And so there's some funny names in there. But then also, when in this case, how the league's designed, you go against an unowned team for the World Series. I'll explain that some other time. But we rename those guys a lot of times just for fun. But then some of those guys develop into actually good players. So now, like, we're stuck drafting guys named like Refrigerator Suitcase and Hasten JV.
Somebody drafted Mike Trout's mom a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I saw that. Dude, I love that league.
I gotta also tell you, a couple years ago in TCL, I must have forgot what league I was in. I renamed my second baseman to be Gustav Doodlebot, and my catcher is now named Stan Polkjab. And Jelly doesn't like that.
No.
Yeah, he does not like those players. He said it a couple times to me, so I must apologize. I forgot where I was at, and had a little bit too much fun with the renames in TCL there.
Yep, we got to keep it, and that's what's cool about CSFBL is there's some leagues where it's like we're going to keep it somewhat traditional, and then other leagues where you can just go crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
So, so I won't keep you too much longer, but just
nowhere to go.
Oh, okay, all right. So, one thing I've been asking a lot of people is like, and this question is particularly of interest because you've been doing some stuff with the game, with database and whatnot, is if we could add one thing to the game or subtract, what would it be? Like, what's the thing that has you most excited?
Well, I'm still super excited about the owner stats. I think that's incredible.
And expanding those. I do. When we launch those, sorry, I just got to tell you, I made this prediction where I was like, we're going to launch this. Number one, everybody's going to love it. And then second, everybody's going to have an idea, a change, a complaint. And that's exactly what happened. Like people started just peppering it. And that's when I was like, it worked, right? Because everybody was fully engaged right off the bat.
Yeah. I think if you ask me this question tomorrow, I have a whole nother answer because there's so many. The way I see it is we have 20 years of people playing this game and posting things on the forums, and all the stuff the commissioners used to do or still do, like that's your software request right there. Like I know one of the things that I've been working on, I don't even know if I told Russ this or not, but whatever. Sorry, clone. I've always done an expanded standing spreadsheet and scrape the schedule page and then parse that out to see how well you do in your division, your run difference, winning streaks, all this stuff. So when I haven't had record requests, which I have like 5 queued up right now, I've been doing this record request on my request. I think it'd be really cool if you could take the standings page and you could expand it to see more info there, like how you do against right-handed pitchers or how you do against each division. You got the game shows you your division, but there's so many different ways that you can display the information, not necessarily historical, but just like current. But man, there are just so many things we can do with the data. It's crazy. And there's 20 years of what people have done on the forums. If I know your list is not short, but if it ever runs short, you could just go see that. Oh, here's the TCL compendium, or here's the stuff they did in remake, just it's incredible how much is out there, how much time people put into this.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And what you're saying, that's one of the areas I'm most excited about too, is, and I've said it from the beginning, like 2 big things: make the game fully flexible, be able to do whatever, have a switch and a knob for everything. But then the other side is like expand the data exponentially where there is, because there's a data source, a sabermetric for a million things, and we should start expanding that out, because I think that's where people will deep dive even further into their teams and will be of interest. And to your point, a lot of people are doing it anyways. They're just doing it on their own and coming up with like ad hoc things themselves.
Yeah,
I think that was another thing when we came out with owner stats, is there was people like scraping those immediately and coming up with different things that they were doing with them. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I could tell people were doing it.
Yeah, I could see that some like put their whole league together and like, here's the people in your league and what they've done. It's wild.
Yeah.
Just the number. I had no idea that like I'm not gonna say I played them, but I own teams that played like 20,000 games or 900 seasons. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
A lot of teams that didn't win World Series titles.
Well, that's one thing that I think I feel a little guilty about is excuse me, I had a lot of teams that I was using just to learn things. So I wasn't concerned with them winning or not. And so I was trying all sorts of insane lineups. But now I see them in my stats and I feel super guilty because they have like winning percentages that are like 420. And it was just so we got to figure out something for those too.
Yeah. But hey, that's how you get better. By trying and learning, and you can then say that, oh yeah, obviously I had this team and I managed it, but like I was trying to win, but I was also learning, and you can't. It is a 0-sum game in a sense. Like for every winner, there's a loser for every game. So not everybody can be, let's just say pimp. Not everybody can win. Not everybody sign Maddox and win in the tournament.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I think. Well, I won't go down that road, but I will say, Pimp, if you're listening, you still got to come on the show. I've been trying to get him on here for a while, and he knows that he gets mentioned every single podcast. It's not an accident. He's that prolific.
Yeah.
And there's nobody you like beating more than Pimp, right?
Well, I guess, yeah. But he just beats me so often. Well, not necessarily anymore because I swept him in the playoffs last year.
did?
And I want to make sure that I say that I swept him in the playoffs last year. And it's not a lie because I did sweep him in the playoffs last year. Totally got swept.
But what happened in the playoffs last year? That's what I'm curious about.
I swept him.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Swept him. Very, very much swept him.
Yep.
I think I might have lost one game, but I swept him.
When you say him, who are you talking about?
But so when I first joined TCL, I had a very good team, but I didn't have as good a team as him. And I lost 10 consecutive division, not necessarily in a row, but 10 consecutive division series to his teams. And I'm forever scarred.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I know how that feels. I think he beat me in 2 back-to-back World Series, which I think everybody has that pimp story though.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, and for some people they have their own pimp. And it's not pimp, but definitely for me, it's
pimp.
Yeah, and it would be. It's also kind of neat. You can see that now. You can go through the user records and you can pull up for your World Series for a team, and since you're in different conferences, you can see really easy. It's almost in your face. You faced this team 8 times. That was actually a record request I recently pulled. Common World Series opponents, and I don't think you guys were that high.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
That's gonna fall into you because he's always in the World Series. You got to get there more often.
You know what? The one I just pulled up to look at that real quick was A New Beginning, which we're in together, and also in with Brian. And I see that you and I were in 3 World Series together. You won 2 of the 3. Congratulations! But you also beat Brian. I don't know. I guess probably a real life year ago with the Las Vegas Vandals.
Yeah, I recently left that team. I do not own them anymore, but at least I don't think I do. If I do own them, I'm not actively managing them very well. So.
Well, this is awesome, man. We'll leave it there. Is any last words for the CSFBL crew or anything else you want to get out there?
Oh, this is never going to be the last words. I always seem to have plenty. It's very weird because I'm a very quiet person in real life. But around this crowd, I got things to say.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm constantly talking. It's been my pleasure to come on here. It's been definitely my pleasure to help out with the data, writing queries, that stuff. I find that to be fun. But thank you for that. Thank you for all you've done with the game because it's alive now and there's a lot of momentum and I really appreciate it.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, there is some momentum. I'm pretty pumped about it too. It's like going to be the passion project, the biggest passion project I've ever had. And so all of you watching, if you're enjoying the owner stats and some of these other things, this is the man to thank. Jar, love you, man. Thanks for coming on here. And you and I will have to collaborate because the next thing I'm going to hit you up for in a couple months is we're going to start doing some more videos. And so I want to collaborate on some funny stuff that we can do.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
For that.
All you watching, we got to run home. I'm sorry. We try to stay. I'll see you next time. We are out of here.